Happy Friday. Today is Friday, January the 27th, 2023. Today's daily Bible readings come to us from Psalm 15, Deuteronomy 24:17 through 25:4, and then 1 Timothy 5:17 through 24. I'm going to take a look at the text from Deuteronomy and talk about the ethics of loving neighbor. So, love your neighbor. It's the basis of who we're called to be as the people of God. Matter of fact, I was supposed to go to a retreat this weekend for actually Holston Collegiate Ministries, which is all the Wesley Foundations and the two chaplains' offices in Holston. And but some things happened, and so they said, you don't need to make that drive, and which is good because I don't know if you can hear my voice, but my head is a mess. So anyway, but I was gonna talk on love of neighbor, and it just so happens that the text that we have today for the daily Bible reading really fits into that. And I was actually gonna kind of use this as the jumping off point for my talk there. So lucky you. But love of neighbor, it's the basis of who we're called to be as the people of God, and why Christ tells us so. Love God, love your neighbor as yourself, right? Sound familiar? But sometimes you get the question, but why? Well, because it's the law, but more than that. So we can fail to love. We do it all the time. Fail to love our neighbors. I do it. You do it. Your mom and your dad and your neighbor. We all do it. We all fail to love. I would argue that when we fail to love our neighbor, it's because our memories fail us, right? We fail to see the truth of who we are, where we've been, and where God has led us, right? That's kind of a big problem in people. Like we lack clear vision, right? We lack the ability to see clearly, and we forget, right? We forget where we've been. The Israelites were expected to show justice. That's what's going on here. God expects them to show justice and care to the widow, the orphan, and the alien, and not merely because he said so. He gives them reasoning behind it. Like, why should you do this? It's because you can remember your own experience, right? You remember what it was like to be a widowed and orphaned people, to be the alien in a strange land. You know what that's like. Therefore, when you come across people who are going through that, you should give them the same care and concern that God gave you. So that's the real why of it. They, above everyone else, should be able to see what people are going through. Most times we fail to love neighbor because we forget to look at our own past and remember the times where we were loved or the times where we weren't loved. So anyway, that's the DBR. Get out, enjoy the day. Talk to you later.